Right, here we go. Part 3, y'all, to this boxing encyclopedia historical spit. Okay, the last 2-3 pages. As the article continues, it has a glossary. Okay, so glossary. I'm gonna name the terms and to read the definitions. Glossary. Barney, a match in which the fighters agree to give a good exhibition without hurting each other. So you best better believe there was a lot of Barneys going on, and sometimes if the crowd thought or a judge thought or a referee thought, you best better believe the folks was adding on their Barney exhibitions onto their record. Okay, it's just common sense. You know, we in there, all right, man, we're gonna take it easy, man. We got me, don't hurt me, I'm not gonna hurt you. And just like we seen exhibitions before, somebody might get a little wild, knock somebody down, and afterwards they supposed to shake hands and, you know, greet the fans, meet and greet like a gala. We eating, we drinking, having a good time. But it's just common sense to think that some of those exhibitions counted as a newspaper decision or counted as an exhibition win. Like, man, there's a dude that we researched on the 100 Knockouts video, y'all. Y'all look him up. Go back to that video. He had a part in the middle of his hair. He had something crazy, 180, 150, 180 something on what do you call those knockouts? Unsanctioned, not unsanctioned, but unrecorded knockouts. And when I look at his record, a lot of his KOs were from exhibitions and were held at carnivals and circuses and shit. So anyway, continuing on. All right, bell, the sound of a gong that begins and ends a boxing round. Block, a defensive gesture with open gloves, fists, arms, elbows, or shoulders that wards off blows of an opponent. Bobbing, as an up and down motion of the body to confuse an opponent. It avoids giving him a fixed target for blows. Quotations, see weaving. Body blow, a punch that lands between the neck and the waistline. Break, to come out of a clinch without punching on order of the referee. Chopper, a downward blow. Clinch, the situation when two fighters hold or grasp each other with the arms. Coasting, taking it easy in a bout after acquiring a comfortable lead, and leads in quotation marks. So this could be likened to De La Hoya versus Trinidad when he was whooping, outclassing, sparring match in Trinidad, and he coasted, as the definition said, with the comfortable lead. And we all know how that turned out. They cheated my man De La Hoya, gave Trinidad the win. Okay, counter fighter. A boxer who usually waits for his opponent to lead before delivering his own punch. Counter punch, a blow delivered directly after an opponent's punch while he is still off guard. Decision, the official verdict at the end of a bout which designates the winner. It can involve a knockout, a disqualification, a decision on points awarded by judges and referee, or a boxer quitting on his own accord. Defensive, a style of boxing which involves few punches but continual protection from an opponent's blows. Ducking, the avoidance of a punch by crouching under it. Elbowing, striking an opponent's throat with the elbow. Illegal. Fancy Dan, a boxer with impressive footwork and gestures but who lacks good punching. Fancy Dan. All right. A feint, a lead or mock punch toward one part of the body that is intended for another part, forcing the opponent to guard the area, not actually hit. Foul, any act by a boxer contrary to the rules, including hitting below the belt, hitting an opponent who is down or rising, hitting with an open glove, and hitting over the kidneys or on the back of the neck. Glass jaw, Q.N. Amir Khan. Glass jaw, the chin of a boxer who is easily knocked down or out by a blow to the jaw. Heeling, and this is spelled H-E-E-L-I-N-G, y'all. Heeling, pushing the inner side of the open glove into the opponent's face. Hook, a punch delivered from the side with the elbow hooked. Infighting, fighting at close range. Jab, a straight punch delivered normally. Quotation, right-handed boxers by the left hand to either head or body. Kidney punch, a blow to the back over the kidneys. Illegal. Knockout, a blow that floors a fighter for 10 seconds, thus giving the victory to his opponent. Mouse, a swelling under the eye resulting from a blow. Mouthpiece, a rubber device held between the teeth to protect them. 1-2 punch, a left jab and right cross delivered almost simultaneously. Pacing oneself, fighting according to a definite plan. Parry, to ward off a blow with the open glove to opponent's fist or arm. Pepper, to land punches frequently and effectively. That joker got his face peppered with that jab. All right, never heard of this one, y'all. Pier 6 brawl. Pier spelled P-I-E-R. Pier 6 brawl, a very rough bout with little boxing skill. Okay, so you could say that Arturo Gatti was in a lot of Pier 6 brawls. Jack Dempsey, Pier 6 brawls. Not saying these men don't have skill, but they just wild, rough, tough, rugged, off-the-chain fighters. Okay, next definition. Punch drunk, a dazed mental condition, temporary or permanent, brought about by absorbing too much head punching. Rabbit punch, a sharp blow to the base of the spine, so named because rabbits are sometimes killed by such a blow. Oh, didn't know that. And then it has afterwards, illegal. Reach, the distance from the tips of the middle fingers of each hand of a boxer when the arms are fully extended. Also the distance from the shoulder to the knuckles. Ring, a misnomer for the area of fighting. Ring is actually a square about 24 feet on each side. Roundhouse, a punch delivered with a full swing of the arm. Y'all know, like them wild roundhouse kicks Chuck Norris and Jim Kelly and Bruce Lee and all them used to do. Except it's with your fist, with your arm. Who throws roundhouse punches, y'all? We see them all the time. You know what? Sugar Ray was known for throwing wild roundhouse punches like that. And there's a lot of other great fighters that throw roundhouse punches. Okay, next definition. Slipper punch, to avoid a blow by moving the body to either side. Southpaw, a left-handed fighter who leads with the right hand, the right foot forward, and guards with his left. Spar, to make offensive or defensive gestures without touching the opponent. So we hear a lot about this, Willie Pep doing that in his fights, and other fighters with skilled footwork, such as Ali and other fighters. They kind of spar their opponents. They, dance and get their footwork on, groove, dip, weave, bob, and they make gestures and feints without even touching their opponent. Showing off, showing their skill and prowess. All right, next definition. Swing. Next definition is stance. The posture or position a fighter generally takes in the ring. Now, swing, a punch delivered with a circular motion. All right, so that could be all type of punches, overhands, bolo punches, hooks, uppercuts. That's circular motion, all type of punches. All right, technical knockout, a verdict given when a fighter is no longer able to defend himself, quits voluntarily, or is seriously injured. In many states, there is no distinction between a knockout and a technical knockout. So when you see KO or TKO, some places it means the same damn thing, and other places it means something different. And that's why I think they added on that RTD, referee technical decision, because in older fight results, you rarely see RTD, referee technical decision, which means a fighter quits on his stool. You see that a lot nowadays, but you don't see it that much during this era and before. You usually see KO or TKO. All right. Throw in the sponge. Oh, to throw in the sponge, that means to quit. Throw in the towel, that also means to quit. Uppercut, a blow delivered by either hand which involves a distinct upward motion. Weaving, moving the body from side to side to confuse an opponent and to avoid giving him a fixed target for blows. Quotations, see bobbing. Hence we got the terms, y'all, bobbing and weaving. Y'all know them terms. Y'all already know. All right, weaving. Excuse me, we already read that. Weigh-in. The official weighing of fighters before a fight. It usually takes place about noon before the night of the fight. Okay, so in 1963, y'all, it's already saying that weigh-ins are starting to take place. It's already saying the weigh-ins are taking place, or still taking place the day of the fight. So, according to this definition, you know, big ups to Blood and everybody else that gets in on the weighing-in topics. Weigh-ins, let's read it again. The official weighing of fighters before a fight. It usually takes place about noontime before the night of the fight. Same day weigh-ins. So that means you only get 6-7 hours to recuperate. Noon of the day of the fight. That means high noon, y'all. 12, 1 p.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. You weigh in on the day of the fight and then you fight that night. That's honest Abe right there. That means you're fighting at your actual weight. All right. All right. The last but not least section of this great encyclopedia article on boxing. You got a caption of Sonny Liston, and it says Sonny Liston, white trunks, delivers knockout blow to then world heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson, September 25th, 1962, in Chicago, Illinois. And it's got a picture of Sonny Liston hitting him with a left hook and Floyd Patterson about to hit the damn ground. All right, the last and final section right here is called Outstanding Boxers. Okay, y'all, so as of 1963, this encyclopedia has written in here the outstanding boxers as of 1963. I just got to hammer that home so I remember that. So this is what history is saying, who are the greats. Okay. Outstanding boxers. Henry Armstrong. Damn, should I read? Y'all want me to read all these little small captions? Fuck it. Some of them I'll read, some of them I won't. Since we love Hurricane Hank, Hammering Hank, the only boxer to hold 3 titles simultaneously, we'll read his. Born Henry Jackson, Columbus, Mississippi. Fought 62 amateur bouts before turning pro in 1932. Won featherweight title in 1937. Won welterweight crown in 1938. Won lightweight title in 1938. Only fighter to hold 3 world titles at the same time. Aggressive style earned him 97 knockouts in 174 bouts and nicknamed quote-unquote Hurricane. He retired in 1945 to become an ordained minister. Next, we got Abe Attell. Born San Francisco, California, Jewish parents, featherweight fighter, 122 pounds, 5'4". Started pro career in 1900 with no losses in first 32 bouts and scored 24 knockouts. Won featherweight title from Harry Forbes in 1904. Defended title successfully 11 times before losing to Johnny Kilbane in 1912. All right, y'all, there's more in the caption, but we're going to skip. Georges Carpentier. Born in Lens, France. 5'11", weight 175 pounds. Let's see, we're going to skip down in his caption. First American fight was against Battling Levinsky in 1920. Won light heavyweight title by KO in 4th round. Took on Jack Dempsey for heavyweight title July 2nd, 1921 in the first quote-unquote $1 million prize fight. Okay, y'all, so according to this article, 1963, George Carpentier took on Jack Dempsey in 1921 for the quote-unquote first $1 million prize fight. And Carpentier, which is French now, that's why I'm pronouncing like that, he lost in the 4th round. And then he lost the light heavyweight title to Battling Siki in 1922 in Paris. So I guess as he was holding the light heavyweight title, he was going up the challenge to get the heavyweight title. And after he got knocked out by Dempsey, he still kept his light heavyweight title. That's what I'm assuming. All right, next, we got James J. Corbett. It says, see a separate article. Has Jack Dempsey. It says, see a separate article. And under it, it has Jack NONPAREIL Dempsey. Now, this is a different Jack Dempsey, y'all. Jack NONPAREIL Dempsey. Born County Kildare in Ireland. Born in the county of Kildare in Ireland. or Kildare in Ireland. His real name, okay, here we go. His real name is John Kelly. You see, y'all, back in them times, folks would come over from different areas, or they were coming up in, let's say, a different area of the same county or the same country or the same state, and they would use popular names, I guess, to get them to stardom. So here we have Jack NONPAREIL Dempsey, who, to my disbelief, precedes the Jack Dempsey heavyweight that we know. Okay, he was born in 1862 and passed in 1895, but his real name was John Kelly. So we gotta look and see when Jack Dempsey, William Harrison Dempsey, had his reign, but I know his reign was in the early 1900s. So this dude, this welterweight Jack NONPAREIL Dempsey, precedes William Harrison Dempsey, the Jack Dempsey we know with the growling face as a heavyweight. All right, John Kelly, aka Jack NONPAREIL Dempsey, height was 5'8", weight was 150 pounds, and he earned the nickname NONPAREIL because of long string of victories over best men in his weight division. He won the middleweight title in 1884 and lost it in 1891 to Bob Fitzsimmons. Okay, he was a middleweight, pardon me. And he continued fighting until 1895. He died in Portland, Oregon in relative obscurity. All right, y'all, here we go. We got a great fighter right here next in this section that I just recently started learning about a year ago. George Dixon, 1870 to 1909, born Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Canadian Negro, height 5'3", weight 122 pounds. Started pro career in 1886 and competed for 20 years. Though all his fights were not recorded, he probably fought over 800 bouts, including vaudeville appearances where he took on all comers. See, so this is what Blood and Beats and all them other historians are talking about. The line just read, he fought over 800 bouts, including vaudeville appearances where he took on all comers. That means you throw a man in the ring, you at a gala or a big event or exhibition, and somebody out the crowd, somebody from the back can come in and challenge you. After that bout is over, another person could come in and challenge you, taking on all comers. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, let's finish up the article. All right, won bantamweight title in 1890 from Newt Wallace in London. 1891, he knocked out Australian featherweight. Move this thing a little bit. He knocked out Australian featherweight Abe Willis and retired from bantam class to enter featherweight. He won that division's crown in 1892 from Jack Skelly in the Nolans, y'all, New Orleans. He lost it to Frank Earn in 1896, regained it from Earn in 1897, lost the title again to Terry McGovern in 1900, and his last bout was 1906. He died in New York City, and he was elected to the Boxing Hall of Fame in 1956. Good day. What a hard knock life. George Little Chocolate Dixon, y'all. Y'all look him up. James Figg. Remember, y'all, we read about him in the first part of this series. He was one of the fathers of the Queensberry rules, I guess, of modern day boxing over in England. James Figg predates Jack Broughton. So go back and listen or do your damn research and find it out that way. All right, next, it's for James Figg, it says see it as separate article. Robert Fitzsimmons, it says see it as separate article. Joe Gans, born in Philadelphia, PA, America, 5'6", 133 pounds, began career in 1891, won light heavyweight title from Frank Earn in 1902 by knockout in the first round. Good day. Held this crown until 1908 when he lost to Battling Nelson. Had a total of 155 official bouts, winning 49 by knockout. Known as the Old Master, elected to Boxing Hall of Fame in 1954. Now listen, see, you gotta listen to the wording in this, and this is in the encyclopedia. You hear the term official bouts we just read. He had a total of 155 official bouts. So probably like George Dixon and other fighters that era, he probably was in a lot of vaudeville, brawl type matches, exhibition, unrecorded, unsanctioned exhibition, take on all comers, battle royale. He probably was in all that type of stuff. Next boxer, we got, okay, he's a goodie right here too. Harry Greb, 1894 to 1926, born Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Irish and German ancestry. Real name, Edward Henry Greb. Stood 5'8", weight 158 pounds, started career as a middleweight in 1913, but also fought in the light heavyweight and heavyweight division. Y'all, you gotta give kudos to these older fighters. These dudes are weighing, like I just said, he weighed at 158, but fought in the middleweight, heavyweight, and light heavyweight divisions. Anyway, won the middleweight title from Johnny Wilson in 1923 and the light heavyweight title from Gene Tunney in 1922. Defeated a heavyweight fighter named Gumboat Smith in one round while still at middleweight poundage. Fearless fighter, tried to fight Jack Dempsey but failed. Died of an eye operation. Elected to Boxing Hall of Fame in 1955. Next, we got James J. Jeffries. It says see a separate article. Next, we got John Arthur Jackson. I'm looking at the shit in parentheses. We got John Arthur Johnson, better known as Jack Johnson. And for him, it says see a separate article. Next, we got Stanley Ketchel, 1887 to 1910, born Grand Rapids, Michigan, real name Stanislaus Kiesel, Polish nationality. Started career at 16. The first major fight occurred in 1906 at Butte, Montana, when he held the great Jack Sullivan, not John L. Sullivan, it has in parentheses, to a 20-round draw. Gained vacant middleweight title in 1908. Became famous in 1909 when he, 170 pounds, fought the world heavyweight champion, Jack Johnson. The one that we know and love, y'all, gold tooth, pistol whipping Jack Johnson, who weighed 205 pounds. So he became famous in 1909. You got to notoriety when he weighed 170 pounds, which was technically a light heavyweight. And he fought the world heavyweight champion, Jack the Giant Johnson, who weighed 205 pounds. And he lost to Johnson in the 12th round. Dang, this is tragic right here. It goes on to say, shot to death in Conway, MO. I can't remember if MO was Montana or Missouri. Shot to death in Conway, MO, October 15, 1910. Elected to Boxing Hall of Fame in 1954. Oh, here we go. The Boston Tar Baby, who another YouTuber, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, holds up to high esteem, in which he should. Sam Langford, 1880 to 1956. Born in Weymouth, Nova Scotia, Canada. Height 5'7". Weight 140 pounds to 178 pounds. Known as the Boston Tar Baby. Powerfully built, 73-inch reach, 32-inch waist, 44-inch chest. Began boxing professionally as a featherweight. Let me repeat that. Sam Langford began boxing professionally as a featherweight in 1902. Fought great fighters of his day. Retired 1923 after 244 pro fights, 44 of which he took by decisions and 98 by knockouts. Remarkable record, included no titles. Continuing on, he became blind, died in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Elected to Boxing Hall of Fame in 1956. Next, we got Benny Leonard, born Benjamin Lanier in New York City. Turned pro at 15, won lightweight title in 1917, held it for 7 years. Career lasted 14 years. Classed as great scientific boxer and feinter. Okay, y'all, I love doing feints as well too. Okay, and he was elected to the Boxing Hall of Fame in 1955. Died. Oh, this is interesting. Died in New York City, April 18th, in 1947, while refereeing a bout. Yeah, day. Joseph L. Barrow, aka Joe Louis. See separate article. Okay. Tommy Loughran, 1902 until. See, a lot of these fighters are still alive because this was printed in 1963. So it says Tommy Loughran, 1902, and has the dash, and they don't have no end date because he's still alive during this time. Born in Philly, Irish ancestry, 5'11", 175 pounds. He gained the light heavyweight crown. I'm skipping through this one, y'all. In 1927 by defeating Mike McTigg. And he got the title. Oh, that bout was to see the success of the title because the title had been relinquished by Jack Delaney. Okay. All right, next. Rocky Marciano, 1923 until. He's still alive during this time. Born Rocco Marciano, Brockton, Massachusetts. All-round athlete whose pro baseball career was interrupted by World War II. So Rocky Marciano, like a lot of other great boxers, was highly skilled in other pro sports. Okay, by World War II, he boxed in army bouts and took up amateur boxing in 1946. Knocked out Jersey Joe Walcott in 1952 to gain heavyweight crown. Powerful puncher with lumbering style. Scored 43 knockouts and 49 pro bouts. Retired undefeated in 1956. Kid McCoy, 1873 to 1940. Born Norman Shelby in Rush, Colorado. And then it has IND, period. Rush, CO, period, comma, IND, period, semicolon. We'll think about that later. First pro fight, 1891. Considered a middleweight, but took on light heavyweights and heavyweights. Traveled widely, introducing sport to parts of Africa and Europe. Won welterweight title in 1896. Retired in 1914. Led to the Boxing Hall of Fame in 1957. Committed suicide in 1940. Man, why the stories of these fighters be so tragic, Lord. Archie Moe, y'all. Okay, 1913 question mark. So his birth, the day of his birth is unknown. Archie Moore, 1913 question mark. Then ask the slash because during this time he's still alive. Born St. Louis, Missouri. Began pro career in 1936. Did not get a chance for a title until 1952 when he beat Joey Maxson for the light heavyweight title. 20 years after he became pro. No, not 20 years. 1936 to 1952. All you math experts, do that right quick off the top of your head. That's how long it took him to get a title fight. The great Archie Moore, y'all. Man with the most recorded knockout. Well, let me just read, dog. Maxson for the light heavyweight title. Moore fought him again in 1953, retaining the title by split decision. After several title defenses, went after the heavyweight title in 1955, but lost to Rocky Marciano by a knockout. Lost his second attempt at heavyweight crown when F.Patterson knocked him out in 1956 in a bout for the title vacated by Marciano. Retained light heavyweight title by defeating Tony Anthony in 1957, Yvonne Durrell in 1958, and Durrell again in 1959. Defeated Julio Rinaldi in 1961 in defense of the partial New York State title only. F.Patterson, 1935 until. Born Waco, North Kakalaki, y'all, North Sharik. Olympic middleweight champion, 1952. First pro fight same year. Damn, hold on. Olympic middleweight champion, 1952. First pro fight the same year, yup. Won world heavyweight title, which was vacated by Rocky Marciano by defeating Archie Moore. Okay, we just read that. Defended crown against I skipped down, y'all. Against Johansson and Tom McNeely in 61. Lost title to Sonny Liston by first round knockout in 62. Okay, y'all, here's my man right here. Sugar Ray Robinson, 1920 until. He's still there. Born Walker Smith. Fought 85 amateur bouts, winning 69 by knockouts. I'm skipping around. Retired 1955, but took title from Olsen and comeback in 1956. Lost it to Fulmer. Okay, going down. 15-round draw against Fulmer, NBA champion in December. Defeated Fulmer again in 1961. Okay. Barney Ross, 1909 until. Born New York City's Lower East Side. Real name Barney Rosufsky. Moved to Chicago. Boxed in high school. Entering Golden Gloves tournament. Daggum, I'm sweating on the book, y'all. Caught me up here sweating. Ooh, it's hot down here. All right. Started a pro career in 7 years lightweight. Won title from Tony Canzoneri in Chicago in 1933. Gave up lightweight crown in 1934 and gained the welterweight title from Jimmy McLarnin same year. Held crown until defeated by Henry Armstrong in 1938. Retired after that bout. Cited for bravery in World War II as a Marine. God dog. You gonna box like that and become a Marine? See, y'all, I just don't understand, you know, because, you know, I'm an American, right? A black and original American, as I like to call it. And the patriotism of these older fighters, man, is just unbelievable. I know it's hard for us to fathom because they lived in a different time era, you know, different style, different thoughts, different ways of life, and they just were more in tune, more in touch, I guess, with their country, their land, and the shit they did. But to box like that for your country and be a world champion of the world and then go and join and fight in the army, I don't understand. Who's this? Barney Ross and Joe Louis and them? I just don't understand it. Anyway, who we got next? Max Schmeling, 1905 until. Born Klein-Lüchow, Germany. Height 6'1", weight 195 pounds. Won middleweight and light heavyweight title of Germany as an amateur before turning pro in 1925. Gained the light heavyweight crown of Germany in 1926. In 1930, won the world heavyweight crown from Jack Sharkey on a foul in an elimination tournament for a vacated title by Gene Tunney. Lost crown to Sharkey in 1932. Knocked out Joe Louis in 1936 in non-title bout. Met him again in 1938 for heavyweight title and lost by knockout in the first round. John Lawrence Sullivan, see separate article. James Joseph, parentheses, Gene Tunney, see separate article. Tony Zell, 1913 until. Born Anthony Florian Zaleski in Gary, Indiana. Okay, going back to Indiana. Y'all, that's where the Jackson's from. Okay, he's born in Gary, Indiana. Polish ancestry. Won 1931 Indiana Golden Gloves lightweight title. Turned pro in 1934. Took NBA middleweight title from Holstock in 1940. Holstock. Okay. Took NBA middleweight title from Holstock in 1940. World title same class from Abrams in 1941. Lost title to Graziano in 1947. Recovered it from him in 1948. Lost it to Sir Don in 1948. Retired 1948. All right, y'all. So that ends the article for the outstanding boxers of this time, y'all. So automatically, to me, you got to put these men as greats because the Encyclopedia has them as greats. As of 1963, Ali's not even in there. Duran's not even in there. LaMotta's not even in here. They already got these dudes as greats. It's 1963. I'm not sure Duran fought as early as the 60s, but I'll go back and look that up. But Ali ain't in there. LaMotta ain't in there. I don't see Fritzy Civic. You know, a few other fighters. It's pretty good. All right, and the last final little paragraph, y'all, is called Amateur Boxing. And then that's going to end the article. Okay. In America, the Amateur Athletic Union, formed in 1888, has exercised jurisdiction over amateur boxing since that time. World War I gave impetus. I'm probably pronouncing this word wrong, y'all. impetus. Impetus. Anyway, World War I gave impetus to the sport in America, along with the Golden Gloves tournaments, which were open to contestants from all parts of the U.S. All right, y'all, and then the article ends with these two names, Carl P. Schott and Arthur Perot. So maybe those are the men who did the research, whatever. But y'all already know what the Amateur Boxing Association is, and we already know what the Amateur Athletic Union is, y'all. That's AAU. Y'all remember we all did AAU sports. You didn't want to do rec league. You didn't want to play for your school or your county per se. You joined AAU, and you remember we used to travel and get on the bus. You know, I did some AAU grappling and things of that nature. And I'm sure y'all did AAU basketball, AAU football, AAU golf. But, yeah, y'all, that's the final finale of this. Tell us what y'all think. We hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed reading as much as y'all did. And we're going to go back and keep doing our history, y'all. Stay true, boxing fans. Stay dedicated to your arts. To all you warriors, combatants, listeners, young, kids, men, women, old and young alike. Stay diligent in everything you do, y'all. We look forward to y'all's success. Keep studying, keep being a scientist, keep growing, y'all. Shoot. We love Bossy.
Mark, sucker.